Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niyeh bidvaro. The fact remains, however, that these angels grow in strength and power, constantly reinforced by the growing evil in the world. We're talking about destructive angels. Their existence is thus two-sided and ambiguous. On one hand, the main reason for their creation is to serve as a deterrent and as a limit, and in this sense, they are a necessary part of the overall system of worlds. On the other hand, as the evil flourishes and spreads over the world because of the deeds of men, these destructive angels become increasingly dependent existences, making up a whole realm that feeds on or fattens evil, whereupon the very reason for this realm is forgotten, and it appears to have become evil for its own sake, an end in itself. At which point, in the paradox, the vastness and magnificent scope of the purpose and meaning of man becomes evident. We see that man can liberate himself from the accumulating temptation of evil, by which act he compels the worlds of evil to shrink to their original mold. What is more, he is able to change these worlds completely, so that they can be included in the system of worlds of the holy, which occurs when that part of them which has become corrupt disappears completely, and the part of them which has served as a support and a deterrent assumes an entirely different character. Nevertheless, so long as the world remains as it is, the subversive angels continue to exist within the very substance of the world of action, and even in domains above it, finding a place for themselves wherever there is an inclination towards evil. But this happens because they themselves investigate and evoke the production of evil. They thus receive their life and power as the result of something they have aroused. And then finally, by their very existence, they constitute a punishment for the things they have helped bring about. The worlds and the manifestations of evil belong in this sense to the general framework of the world of action, and one of their most extreme aspects is the mansion called hell in all its forms. For when the soul of man leaves the body and can relate directly to spiritual essences, thus becoming altogether spiritual, with no more than fragmented memories of having been connected with the body, then in the course of things, all that this soul has done in life casts it into its right form on the level appropriate to it in the life after death. And therefore the souls of the sinners descends, as it is symbolically expressed, to hell. In other words, the soul now finds itself wholly within the world domain of these subversive angels within it, as a sinner created. And there is no refuge from them, for these creatures encompass the soul completely and keep pushing it with full, exacting punishment for having produced them, for having caused the existence of those same angels. And as long as the just measure of anguish is not exhausted, this soul remains in hell, which is to say, the soul is punished not by something extraneous, but by the manifestation of evil it itself created according to its level and according to its essence. Only after the soul passes through the sickness, torment, and pain of spiritual existence of its own self-produced evil, only then can it reach a higher level of being in accordance with its correct state and in accordance with the essence of the good that it created. Since even this domain of the worlds of evil is fundamentally inward and spiritual, it is revealed only by way of vision of one kind or another. And therefore many anthropomorphic descriptions of the subversive angels are not unlike the description of the holy angels in their crudity and their clumsy approximations. For it is not given to transmit something that does not lend itself to material description, and the imagery used is invariably inadequate. Thus we come to the end of the first chapter of the 13 Petaled Rose by Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, Worlds, and God willing, we'll continue next time with chapter 2, Divine Manifestation of the 10 Sfirot.